Welcome to Getting Real with John Natale. Today, guys, we have a great episode 31, and today we are talking about MCE. What does it mean? Do you have it? Is it something you need to have success with real estate, with content creation in social media, and how do you develop it if you don't have it just yet? That today is exactly what we are going to discuss. Before we take a minute to do that, though, I want to take a quick couple seconds just to thank you for listening to this podcast. Our mission here at Natale and our mission at Getting Real is to fundamentally redesign the real estate industry. We're doing that in several different ways. One is this podcast, so anything you can do to rate us 5 stars, hit the like button, share this on social media, anything you can do to help spread the message, I'm so damn appreciative of you. I'll also add, we have an unbelievable and dynamic real estate company here in New Jersey. If you're in New Jersey looking to grow your business, grow your brand, grow your life, there's no better place than Natale. And all you have to do is set up a completely free call with me below. And then on top of it, if you're in one of the other 49 states or international, we have an unbelievable coaching program that is literally almost every day someone new is coming in. People want to grow their brand, guys. If you've been listening to this message and you want to grow your brand, grow your business, grow your life, we are most likely a very good fit for you. Take a look in the link below at all of our coaching options. Take a look below in the link and book a completely free discovery call with me just to discuss your options when it comes to Natale coaching. And today, guys, we are going to talk about MCE, main character energy. It's a topic, it's a subject, it's a word or a phrase thrown out a lot. However, what does it actually mean? How do you define it? Do you know if you got it or if you need to develop it? And what are some strategies to develop it? We're going to dive into all of that today on today's episode of Getting Real. I've been in real estate for 16 years now. And one thing I will tell you is when I get on social media, I can tell almost automatically if someone already has main character energy. Main character energy is that sense about someone. And it's not an ego thing. It has nothing to do with being like boisterous, outgoing, huge ego. It's just something you can kind of tell about somebody where they are the main character in their story or their main character in their family, and they are here to redefine life for themselves and their family. And you could tell when people have that energy. When not the center of the show has to be around them for their own ego, where it just kind of naturally happens. They're able to draw in an audience. They're able to make people feel a certain type of way just by either looking at a camera or in their content or in some, public setting. That type of person has what we call main character energy. And one of the most eye-opening things for someone like myself, who, I'm a pretty introverted guy, I'm a pretty shy guy. If you watch this podcast or listen to this podcast and you haven't actually met me in person, I'm not the most outgoing guy. I'm not, when I look at a camera, I feel extremely uncomfortable. However, that doesn't mean I don't have that main character energy, or the people that I coach or agents at our company or other agents that I see across social media or here in our local area don't have it. It's very easy to define it, in my opinion. It's very easy to see. Like when you see somebody in their content and they're being themselves, that typically to me shows that they have that main character energy. How you start to really put that out there is one of the hardest things, honestly, in a content creation journey that you're going to have to overcome. Because like me, you might be a little bit shy. You might be a little bit fearful looking at that camera. You might be thinking about, man, wow, how is this all going to be taken in when people start listening to my message? Or wow, what are people going to think about my shirt right now? What are they going to think when I say this? And the only way you get past that is by doing it. And the reality is, even though you have some of those uncertainties, some of those worries, some of those concerns, doesn't mean you don't have that main character energy. That's one thing I've really found over the last year as I put myself out there so much on social media, is it's not necessarily just because you're introverted or you're extroverted, like one way or the other. You can develop these main character energy type of skills. So here's a couple key ways that I think you can help identify if you already have that main character energy. When you go, if you're in real estate and you go on an appointment, are you leading the conversation? Are you asking the right questions? I know that sounds like, well, what does that have to do with social media? But when you're leading a conversation, you're leading your family, you're leading a group. Typically, when it comes back to your content and social media, you usually have that main character energy. It's usually not necessarily the focus has to be on you, but in some ways you are leading either conversations, you're leading the group, you're leading the family, you're leading in some sort of way that shows that you have that main character energy. So when you go on appointments, are you simply a bystander? When you go into a group in social interactions, which again, I'm a really shy guy, so this is not me. But are you the one, generating conversation, coming up with great topics for people to talk about? Are you just the one that just stands there and responds? And again, it's not about you have to be the most boisterous person, always be the one that's out there with all the energy and everything like that. It's some of these things we can develop, and we're going to talk about those. This is a couple real quick ways to kind of see if you already have it. If you're putting yourself out there on social media, is your message getting across? Is your audience growing? If your audience is continually growing, then obviously you're putting your energy out there and people are responding and wanting to become closer to you. So one of the things that I've seen over the last 9 months since I've put myself out there consistently on social media, creating content specifically, is my following has grown, honestly, very steadily the entire time and starting to look like a hockey stick where it's starting to go up really rapidly. And the truth is that happens after a while, but it also happens when you let out that MCE, that main character energy, where people want to follow you. So if you look out and you're creating content, your following is growing, and you look out and say, like, when I meet with these people, I'm usually leading the conversation, or when I'm out socially, I'm the one organizing some things. I'm the one, keeping the conversation going. You probably already have it. Now, I didn't. I've always said this. You give me no people, nothing to do, a book, my couch, I'm good. I don't need to go out. I don't need to go socialize. That's just not the type of person I really am. However, I've realized that kind of just wasn't really me when I was born, more or less. I'll give you a real brief highlight. We have a almost 4-year-old son. And our 4-year-old son, man, he's got so much energy. He never stops talking. He's always asking questions. The guy is like so extrovert. He'll go up to he's never been shy. He's never tucked himself behind our leg. It's crazy to me as someone who is kind of shy and whatnot, and my wife is very introverted as well. It's kind of wild to see, 2 introverts have such an extroverted child. However, recently, and I always thought I was always a shy, more worried kid socially and whatnot. However, very recently, my mom shared with me that I was the exact same way when I was his age. Exactly the same. And that opened my eyes a little bit, especially recently. And I said, well, if I was born as that extroverted or that outgoing, most likely whatever happened in my childhood, which was pretty traumatic, affected me and affected the type of person I became for a long time. But however, that energy is still there. And that's one thing that I'm really, really just starting to get into and really, really embrace. However, I think I've always had it. And I think if you're thinking in your head right now, if you have that main character energy, I think you already know. If you are that person that's leading the conversations, if you're that person that's creating content and creating, really growing a following, even if it's not huge, just consistently growing and more people want to be around you, you probably have that main character energy. Now, if you don't have it, I want to talk about how to develop it and then how to harness it for good use. Because honestly, you can harness it for really bad uses. If you don't have it, how to develop it is just take a page out of an introvert's book and start coming very prepared to things. So rather than being naturally able to lead a conversation, come with a specific set of questions that will lead a conversation. Start to really let yourself out. Get as uncomfortable as possible. I'm looking at a camera right now. If that makes you so damn uncomfortable that it literally pauses your day and then you can't do it, and you want to develop this main character energy so you can really grow a following, grow a personal brand, my Lord, you need to just start looking at that camera more and more and putting yourself out there more and more, even as uncomfortable as it makes you. Because the truth is, you do not get to the other side. You do not get to develop it without some of these steps. If you weren't just born with it and you have to develop it a little bit, or find it from somewhere deep within you, kind of like I did. You need to just start doing. Action has to be the only way you're going to get to where you want to go. I tell my coaching clients this all the time. I would love a world, as their coach or as a broker here for the agents at our company, I would love a world where I could literally just pick you up at point A and as a leader, put you at point B. But we all know that that does not exist. Between point A and point B, it starts off really slow. And for you, if just looking at the camera makes you nervous, the first few steps, the first little bit of time is literally those very small baby steps, just putting yourself out there. There's really no progress being made. It looks like baby steps. And then after a little bit, you're like, whoa, I used to be over there, which wasn't too far, but at least I'm somewhere. And then you keep going and still baby steps, still baby steps, still baby steps. And then you're a little bit further. A few months has gone by, you look back and go, wow, I used to be scared of doing this, but I'm not sitting at, 100 million followers. However, my social media accounts are growing. I'm getting business from this. I got 1 or 2 deals and okay, I can see a difference here. And then lo and behold, you keep going because now you're motivated by it. And then like that second half from A to B goes by so damn fast. And that's your rapid growth stage. And then you get there and you go, wow, I'm 7 miles away from the person I used to be. I can't even see that person anymore. And that's a really, really powerful thing to start looking at. And when you're at point B, you'll realize like, wow, I've developed that main character energy. This story doesn't need to be all about me for my own sake. However, if I have a message, damn it, I want people to hear my message. And I want to share that message with people. I want to help more people. See, when I talk about personal brand and growing a following, I could care less about the actual number of followers, likes, shares, comments. All that stuff has no effect, and it shouldn't, other than the fact that it helps you find the people that you can actually help in life. And if you're a real estate professional, you want to be reaching out there in the community. You want to be reaching out there with your personal brand. So people pick up the phone and say, God damn, I want to work with you. I've been seeing you here. I've been seeing you there. And you look like the type of person, you seem like the type of person, you resonate with me, and you are the type of person I want to work with. That is exactly what you want. So let's talk about how to harness this, because this could turn very negative as well. If it is all about your ego, it is all about you and not bettering people's lives, not helping other people, not providing a better life for your family, not providing a better legacy for future generations. Having this main character energy is kind of just being an egotistical ass. Like, let's be honest. And that's where there's a very fine line there where you need to, I think, to have success building a personal brand, you need to have some main character energy. I don't think you could do it as a wholly conservative, reserved person that just never wants to put themselves out there and make themselves uncomfortable. You can't develop main character energy. However, I think anybody who either doesn't have it or hasn't harnessed it yet can develop it. And I also think everybody who has it can use it for bad uses. Because if you do, people naturally want to be around you. And that's kind of like, whether it's an abuse of power, abuse of status, no matter what it is, it can be abused. And that's one thing you have to be really, really careful of and mindful of. Because when you start to grow that following and people want to be around you and be in your world, it can get to this right here, your head. If you're listening, not watching, you don't see me pointing to my head. However, it can get here. It can get to your head. When you walk in public and people are like, oh my God, I know you from so-and-so. I know you from TikTok. I know you from Instagram. That can get to your head. However, you have to bring it back to the fact of, wow, that's really great for my brand. Wow, I can better my family's life because people know who I am. Wow, people are really resonating with my message and I'm affecting some sort of change just creating content. That's the power of it. However, if you use it for negative things and it's not about others and it's not about helping other people, it's literally just about yourself, it's not going to really help you. It's really not going to help you in the long run because everybody, especially nowadays, can just smell an egotistical jerk from a mile away. So I want you to understand that main character energy is something, even if you don't have it, you haven't developed it yet, you can develop. And I also want you to understand that main character energy could be something that's unbelievable for your business. It is really something that you could use for the betterment of the world. And I want to challenge you today to let that main character energy out. Make the show about you, but not be 100% for you. That's the key. People want to hear from you. On the other side of the camera or the phone or anything that you could possibly look at is people's lives that you can change. That's the one thing I've realized these last 9 months. And my Lord, I'm not going to take the next bit of my life not sharing a message that I know can help people because I've seen just in such a short period of time how it can. So let yours out. Find people who resonate with it, develop and keep developing your main character energy, and grow your damn life.